What a lovely surprise. Welcome, Hoishin. I heard that you've been traveling all over the place recently. I would very... Hoishin told you, didn't she? Don't worry. I'm quite all right. It's just the years gradually catching up with me. As I grow older, I'm starting to find that with many things, though the mind is willing, the flesh is weak. Especially recently, I've noticed a rather drastic drop in my energy levels. I am still very much in good standing as the Tianshu today. Nevertheless, I wish to pass on the position before my mental acuity begins to decline.
How difficult is it to...
Oh, historically, we also want to keep any prospective Tianshu candidates free from influence by outside forces, so we tend to be as discreet as possible in their assessment and appointment. For these reasons, the incumbent Tianshu typically recommends their candidate of choice, and this is then approved by the other Qixing members.
So in other words, you pick someone, and then Lady Keqing, Lady Ningguang, and the other Qixing appoint them?
Correct. Unfortunately, due to my health, I won't be able to assess every candidate myself. Not to despair, however, because I found someone exceptionally capable to act on my behalf as assessment officer. In fact, I believe you recently became acquainted with her yourself.
Oh? Who is it?
I'm heartbroken. I thought it might take you a little longer than this to forget all about me.
It's yelan!
Jackpot. Uncle Tian here asked me to assess 3 candidates for him. Fancy joining me? You'll be among the first to get to know the next Tianshu. Might be a good opportunity for you.
What do you think? Paimon thinks so too. It can't be a bad thing to be on good terms with a new Qixing, right?
Alright then. Though, I gotta say, Uncle Tian, you say you're into behind-the-scenes planning? My work's of the covert variety, too. Don't you think I might make a good Tianshu?
Huh? Yelan, you want to be the next Tianshu?
I'm not opposed to the idea, but I suspect Ningguang wouldn't let you go very easily after how long you've been working together. So, how about this? If your investigation reveals that none of the other candidates are qualified for the position, I'll recommend you for the job.
Deal. Well, you guys take your time. Everything's all set for the... Meet me on the first floor when you're ready. Oh, and no need to pay for your tea. As the new owner of this fine establishment... You're all set?
Uncle Tian seems really worn down.
Yeah, and so he's recommended 3 candidates. Qinwei is a wealthy entrepreneur. Mingbo works at the Liyue Ministry of Civil Affairs, and Zhi is focused on study and travel. Try to keep all that in mind.
Qianwei, Mingbo, Zhi. Paimon should...
Let's leave that until we get to Yuehai Pavilion. All right. Heads in the game, people. The stakes...
Got it. We'll keep our eyes wide open.
My legs are getting sore. What is wrong with this assessment officer? This is a huge occasion and I don't even get a chair. I've dealt with all kinds of people in my time.
Oh, I mean,
That's called being complacent.
oh, come on. That's just... Now you're just... being unreasonable.
All right, you two. Let's not get into a big argument over this. It's not worth it. Qianwei, that was a bit uncalled for. And Mingbo, cut him some slack. We've all been standing around for a while. It's natural to be getting irritable. Look, how about this? There's no rule saying we're obliged to stand up while we wait, so why don't we borrow some chairs from the guild nearby?
Fine. Ugh, they're not the best quality chairs to be...
It looks like all 3 candidates have arrived. We'll meet them formally soon. Before that, let me run you through the assessment process. I've split it into 2 stages: current affairs and planning, and face-to-face interview. In the first stage, candidates are required to submit a manifesto for Liyue's development. In the second stage, we will ask them some questions in person. Writing a manifesto takes time, so I informed them of this requirement in advance. These are the reports they submitted.
Wow, one of them is really thick.
It's also worth mentioning a stipulation I gave them. Whoever is appointed as the new Tianshu will be expected to implement their plan as put forward in their manifesto. Failing the occurrence of some cataclysmic event, they will not be permitted to change their plan. Therefore, these 3 piles of documents in front of us represent where each candidate stands on key policy issues. There's still some time. Have a skim through, get a first... I'll be waiting off to the side.
A blade is like a tea leaf. Only those who sample it many times can appreciate its true qualities. I wish life could be as leisurely as this a little more often. How greedy of me.
Finished, huh? What did you think?
Everyone took it very seriously.
Of course they did. They have the chance to be picked as the new Tianshu, so you can bet they're putting their best foot forward. And keep in mind, whoever gets in has to execute their plan as written. That's for me to know and you to find out. We can talk more after the interviews. We'll see the candidates now. Let's do one at a time. Start with Chenwei.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh? So you two are the assessment officers, are you? I had assumed that given the great import of this situation, Lady Ningguang would perhaps be assessing us in person. I certainly hadn't imagined I'd be seeing 2 entirely unfamiliar faces. I trust you've read through my manifesto? I'd be more than happy to clarify any details you found difficult to grasp. It was written with an expert audience in mind, after all.
Mind your tone, mister.
Relax. It wasn't intended as a personal slight against anyone in particular. I was simply stating a fact. Cloud Retainer? You know this Adeptus? Oh, yes, I remember now. You must be the traveler that people are constantly talking about. With your sterling reputation, you must have a respectable level of erudition. Perhaps you will be able to understand the concepts I have put forward. Yeah, although I shouldn't get my hopes up.
Oh, is it my turn?
Yes. Please introduce yourself.
I'm, Mingbo. I work in the Ministry of Civil Affairs. I've worked there for, 9 years, 5 months, and 3 days. In that time, I've handled, 2,347 cases. I have 12 active cases at the moment. They should be concluded in, 16 days? My current work is related to urban planning, and I'm also responsible for, auditing the accounts. To be more precise, there are 3 parts to the accounts, namely...
Is it just Paimon, or is he not very good at public speaking?
You know what? Let's leave the self-introduction there and move on to some questions.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Hello. Not gonna lie, I'm feeling a little nervous. What would you like to know? You're here to assess me, so ask away and I'll answer your questions to the best of my ability.
Your manifesto is very wide in its scope, but you don't seem to be personally involved in many of the specific fields. How can you be sure that you have the ability to put your plan into action?
Very fair question. I completely understand where you're coming from. But I'm confident in my plan. I've visited many different places, talked to lots of people with far more expertise than myself, and my manifesto is the conclusion of these efforts. Of course, 2 different problems can be interconnected in very complicated ways, and you might reach 2 very contradictory conclusions depending on which one you're focusing on. What I've tried...
How do you plan to determine whether you are right or wrong about your proposed solution being the optimal one?
A great question. Well, I'd start by having my colleagues and the secretaries of the Yuehai Pavilion evaluate any proposals before implementation. Post-implementation, it would all come down to the results. If it turned out that my judgment was to blame for poor results, I would take responsibility.
Nice answer. All right, next question.
He seems like a great guy. Everything he said was thoughtful and logical, and he was just a pleasure to listen.
Here's my take on what we just learned. As you saw, Qianwei is highly knowledgeable. He proposes many excellent ideas in his manifesto which effectively target the big issues. But he is very proud and incredibly stubborn. He doesn't care much about other people's feelings. Mingbo's plan is more thorough and more measured. You can tell he's meticulous in his work, very detail-oriented. But he and Qianwei are otherwise polar opposites. Mingbo is not very articulate and comes across as very timid in conversation.
Perfect summary! Paimon couldn't agree more! You're good at this, yelan.
Last but not least, Zhi. His manifesto is full of pertinent details, his methodology is sound, and his proposals cover a broad range of fields, which is quite a rare feat. The depth he goes into in each and every area means it can only be a product of painstaking work. Plus, he is modest and good at dealing with people. But what really interests me is that many of his views happen to coincide.
Great!
We'll see.
I see. then it's more or less as I anticipated.
All right, then let me ask this. The ideas in Jur-E's manifesto are very similar to your own. Is there any particular reason behind this?
Oh, I didn't want to say anything when I gave you the list of candidates, for fear of affecting your judgment. But I can tell you now. Those 3 candidates have all studied under me in the past. It's only natural that they share some similarities with me. But Xin Wei went on to focus on his business, and Ming Bo has always been occupied with his work at the Ministry of Civil Affairs. Of all of them, Juri was with me for the longest duration.
Whoa! So how did you get to know them all, Uncle Tian?
Chen Wei was referred to me by an old friend. Ming Bo came to my attention in the course of my work. And as for Juri, that was pure happenstance. We first met while fishing. Gradually, as we got to know each other, we started discussing all sorts of topics. Juri came from a poor family, and his parents died when he was very young. But he was a gifted student and a fast learner. He reminded me of a younger version of myself, so I started out giving him a few words of advice when we were out fishing and noticed how quickly he got on. Quite. And now, all of a sudden, he's grown into a mature young man. It's a joy to see, but it also gets one thinking. The young are growing up, and I am growing old. How time flies. No one can escape the cycle of life.
I don't know, Uncle Tian. You still seem in pretty good shape to me. You might have another few years of work left in you, don't you think?
Oh, you. There's really no need to console me. Having less energy than I used to isn't such a bad thing. It just means I finally have a good reason to retire and spend my days doing what old men like me should be doing. Going fishing whenever I feel like it.
Sounds like you sure love fishing, Uncle Tian.
Ooh, there's nothing quite like fishing to pass the time. Ooh, and freshly caught fish, they make the most beautiful fish soup with barely any preparation required.
Fresh fish soup. Sounds tasty.
Doesn't it? Also, some time ago, Juri purchased a very special recipe from an old fisherman. When we've been fishing recently, Juri always brings some extra ingredients he prepared in advance. Oh, the addition of these makes the soup taste even more wonderful. That flavor makes for a fond memory.
Oh, can Paimon come next time too? Paimon really wants to try it.
Let's get back to the matter at hand. Uncle Tian, we've reported back. Do you have a verdict?
I appointed you as the assessment officer, and I trust your judgment. Had you not asked me why Juri's ideas were so similar to mine, I was not going to mention my history with any. This decision, remember, you must be thorough.
Understood. Come on, let's go talk somewhere else.
Bye-bye, Uncle Tian. Look after yourself. So, it's gonna be Juri, right? His manifesto was written well, and he's the best speaker.
Easy. Let's not rush.
Huh?
No, nothing. The biggest no-no in intelligence work is to, for example...
Yes?
Lady Yelan, what are your orders?
Ugh! Who are they? Where did they come from?
Did they scare you? These two are Wenyuan and Shanghua. They work for me. As my trusted assistants, they are always standing guard nearby. Shanghua is a business expert who gets his information by trading. Wenyuan relies on word of mouth. And there's also Upe, who's not here right now.
That meathead must have been out there on sea surveillance for some time now. Is he all right? I seem to remember that he can't swim.
Nothing can take that guy down. Certainly not a little wind and waves.
Shanghua, visit all the commerce guilds and look into Qianwei's background. Wenyuan, go to the Ministry of Civil Affairs and look through Mingbo's work files.
Yes, ma'am.
So what about Juri?
Juri, well, obviously as the most promising candidate, we will be investigating him ourselves. Let's go to the docks first. Lots of people passing through there. You can find out all kinds of...
If we're looking for information, why don't we try he does business at the North Wharf? Maybe he has some news for us.
That's actually not a bad idea. Let's go and...
Huh? What's Bulai doing here today?
Look, your asking price for this batch is just too high. I can't buy in at this price. How am I supposed to turn a profit?
Come on, hear me out. I'm telling you, this is the single best batch of since I accidentally dropped one into...
Even so...
All right. I'll let you in on a little secret. The boss of Second Life also wants to buy from me, but I haven't responded yet. If you won't take him, I'll just have to partner with them instead. And neither of them...
Okay, well, when you put it that way, I'll accept your asking price. I'll take all your stock. Don't sell a single one to Second Life. Oh, what are you doing here? And to be clear, these Sunsettias are mine. I got to them first. Don't get...
Actually, we want to ask you about a guy called Juri. Have you heard of him before?
Juri? I've heard a story about it. One of his neighbors, he returned...
Oh, he sounds like a...
Why are you asking? Well then...
Where?
It's him, all right. Looks like he's chatting with Lin Long. Come on, let's follow them and listen in. Try not to let him see you. We want this information to be as truthful as possible.
I'll just go and fetch an employment contract. And hey, don't try and cut me out of this. Hey!
I understand. Let's walk and talk. So, you were looking to buy a wineware set? Oh, now I can see that you're a connoisseur, so I won't bother trying to con you. I trust you understand our shop quite well?
The truth is, an old friend of mine, who likes to have a drink now and then, he fancies himself as a man of culture, but doesn't care for needless extravagance. So I thought I might buy him a set of high-quality fakes.
How very thoughtful of you. Leave it to me, then. Come and collect it at Shigu Antiques whenever is convenient.
Thank you very much, Miss Lin Long.
It's my pleasure, Mr. Juri. These days, it's quite rare for someone of your standing to still keep up with their old friends. It's nice to see. I'll be sure to pick out a good set for you. You can count on me.
Juri seems to get along really well with everyone. Are you satisfied now, Yelan? Seems like everyone thinks Juri's a great guy.
We shouldn't jump to conclusions.
Wait,
Maybe I am. You'll be able to try all the finest food for free.
we will? Well, come on! Off to the South Wharf!
Useless. The wharf is as big. I hear the anglers here sometimes sell their...
Welcome. What would you like to...
Sorry to interrupt. We've heard about this young man called Jur-E, who's supposed to be a fantastic fisherman.
Whoa! Yelan made up a whole fake identity without batting an eyelid!
Ah, yes, Juri. He's been making quite a name for himself recently. I've got some friends who travel all over the place, and they tell me everywhere they go they meet someone who's heard of him. Apparently, he had a rather tough time growing up. How does that saying go? What doesn't kill you...
Yeah,
But I'm afraid your Anglers Association might...
Oh?
He's good at a lot of things. His catches are always... mediocre.
That sounds fantastic.
Sure thing.
Everywhere they go, they meet someone who's heard of him. Come on, let's keep asking around.
Here to buy some fish? You better hurry. When they're gone, they're gone.
Hello, we're from the Society for Fish Price Research. We'd just like to ask a few questions.
wow! She switched identity again!
Society...
Please, don't... We've heard about a...
So this... I haven't heard anything.
Oh?
Because he's so poor. His parents died when he was very young, and he was still a kid. And he managed... I mean, he can afford... It's not like he catches much...
You'd rather he didn't know?
Well, I think he has pretty... Nobody's perfect.
I see. Well...
Not a problem.
The more times you say it, the less convincing.
Doesn't happen.
Hey, it's you guys! Wait, what's the phrase? Oh yeah. Honored to meet you. What brings you to me?
The truth is, we are but newcomers to this territory. We heard tell of a great
Really? People said I know everything there is to know?
But of course. We also heard that Master Dooku is a kind and virtuous swordsman who never turns away anyone who comes with...
Great!
Now she's lying to a kid.
So, Master Dooku, have you heard of one by the name of Jur-E?
Sure have. You mean that guy that all the grown-ups are talking about these days? I've heard many tales, probably because it's nothing that...
Oh, I can...
Oh yeah, I know that. It was about 2 or 3 months ago. Before that, sometimes he gives...
Just as I thought.
Huh? What do you mean?
I mean, just as I thought, Master Dooku is indeed as kind and virtuous as the legends claim.
I'm not that great. Oh yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Great. So next time I see them, I'll say hi. And I guess I can share some of my candies with them too.
Certainly. You can also tell my friend in Yenshang Tea House about what they're up to. I'm sure...
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well then, fare thee well, Master Dooku.
Until we meet again.
Any of that sound strange to you?
Strange? What was strange about it? Jur-E seems to have a great reputation.
True.
Sudden?
So he returns... Do you remember what... Plus, there is childhood.
When you put it like...
Of course, if that's all there... Jur-E was born... The problem is... Do you remember... Right. That's the worst case scenario.
Someone's trying to gain influence over the Qixing? Even if we asked Jur-E about it, surely there's no way he'd admit it.
First, we need to remember the current of whoever is secret... Come on. Let's get back to Yenshang Tea House. Jur-E's manifesto covers a huge range of topics. I'll divide the report officially the assess-
Yikes! We better hurry!
Whatever else Uncle Tien might think of Jur-E, any evidence he's left.
Even though Yelan took half, this is still a lot to get through. Well, we gotta start somewhere. Oh, this reading is giving time on it. Let's take a break.
Looks like I'm the first one back, as usual.
Oh, hey! It's one of Yelan's little helpers, Shanghua! If you're back, that means you finished investigating Qianwei, right?
You betcha.
Don't drag this out. Just tell us your findings.
Yes, Lady Yelan. To summarize my findings, the young master of the... Once he signs a contract...
Who'd have thought?
Is it possible that his
In theory, that should be very... Where he buys from and sells to... Qianwei often sees business opportunities that others... It's like he wants...
What a strange guy. It's like he's not doing business to make Mora, but instead...
To validate his theories. No wonder his manifesto contains so many insights. It's all the result of his first-hand experimentation.
I'm back! Huh? How come you're here?
Why do you think? Obviously, because I possess superior skills, and am always one step ahead of the competition. Well, when you're the competition, at least.
You... Ugh, whatever. I'm not getting into an argument with you. If I hadn't had something else to take care of on the way, Lady Yelan, I have finished investigating Mingbua.
Well, we're up.
The Ministry of But after a few...
In your opinion, was...
I don't believe so. Mingbua, according to Miss... Oh, and also...
Whoa.
Like I said before. Thank you both. You're free to go now. So, have you finished reading the manifesto?
We still have a bit left.
I can't see it. The only one that strikes me as a little unusual is the Chengshu Pool redevelopment plan. Chengshu Pool has always been home to many secrets. At some point, a long time ago.
So, did they find any?
None. The ruin was completely impenetrable. The technology wasn't much. Jur-E's Still, this one fact alone doesn't tell us much. Everyone wants to get their hands on this treasure. The treasure hoarders, the Fatui, even local Liyue factions.
Excavation? Project? Treasure? Did we read anything similar in our half of the Oh yeah! Jur-E said the Blackcliff Forge workers should get right of first refusal if any suitable projects come up.
Did he now?
Does that mean the Blackcliff Forge is Jur-E's secret supporter?
No, not like they do possess some special... Still.
Qianwei and Mingbua... What about Jur-E? Is there another side to him too?
Demon. This is the Blackcliff Forge. Let's look around for clues.
What's...
From the back, it looks like a ledger. But we don't know who wrote it, but it's interesting, don't you?
You think they're suspicious?
Yes. Look, it says right there, one of them's already been promoted to team leader. At this rate, by the time the Qingshu Pool redevelopment plan is ready to roll, they'll be the technical backbone of the team. That'll give them the chance to take a lot of liberties. They can copy any secret texts or steal any treasure they find under... Imagine if we didn't suspect anything. By the time, no red flags if all they did was change some key. That's the advantage of.
When you put it like that, so who's really behind all this?
That's a question for the newcomers. But let's.
Excuse us. We want to ask you about the newcomers.
I gotta say, my only complaint, I guess they just need.
They go out drinking. This area isn't exactly.
You got that right. They tell me it rained after. Hey, you're only young once.
Interesting. Let's go talk somewhere else. Looks like our hunch was on the Mora. Deep drinking in Liyue Harbor, huh? Some cover story. I'll wager they've been going to intelligence updates. Good thing it rained today. It means they'll leave footprints. I doubt they'd give them...
They went that way! Hurry, we gotta catch up! These footprints are heading towards Liyue Harbor. Maybe we were wrong about them.
Just as I thought. They didn't go to Liyue Harbor. They went that way. The footprints stop here. But, judging from the direction, I'm guessing their destination was that abandoned house. Looks like we were too late. This has gotta be where the newcomers rendezvous with whoever they're working for. But all the evidence has been destroyed. Look at these ashes. Someone was burning documents not long.
Could there be anything left? Maybe the wind could have blown the fire out before everything was finished burning.
The odds of that are...
Why don't we wait for them back at the Blackcliff Forge? They've got to go back there sooner or later.
We can't count on that. Clearly they were based here. To me, that's...
Darn! Guess this is where a trail runs cold.
Make no mistake, I smelled something peculiar the moment I came in. Those newcomers probably thought they'd be safe as long as they burned the letters. But what they failed to consider is that paper and ink from different regions produce different odors when they're burned.
Really? Paimon can't smell anything. Do you smell anything?
There is a certain place with some wealthy people there put floral fragrance in their ink as a way of injecting a little romance, and when that fragrant ink is burned, this is the exact odor that it leaves behind. Exactly. The evidence will soon be blown, but it's all I need.
Lady Yelan! Oh, thank goodness I finally found you. I thought I'd never see you again.
Who are you?
Don't be alarmed. This is Upei. He's Wenyuan and Shanghua's colleague. I sent him to look into Zhiyi's regular I left him a note at... So, what did you find out at sea?
Forgive my incompetence. I'm afraid I've come up empty-handed. I asked all the fishermen multiple times, but none of them had any interactions with Zhiyi before. Then the waves got so choppy I ended up falling overboard. When I got back... What? That's news to me. No, that's not possible. It's absolutely not possible. Lady Yelan, I'm telling you, I spoke to every single fisherman out there, and none of them mentioned anything about a recipe.
Interesting.
Fish soup? What fish soup?
Nothing. Our priority right now is to find a way to get our hands on some solid evidence. Well, any suggestions? Not a bad idea. Upei, what do you think?
Honestly, I've already tried following Juri, but
Okay, so
No, we'll still...
groundwork?
When you've worked in intelligence for a long time, tomorrow morning I'll announce his victory at Yohai Pavilion. Take a guess what you think he'll be sure to arrive on time.
Demons do not stop for the raid. Move.
It looks like we're all here. Well then, time for me to announce the results of the assessment process. I won't drone on about the importance of the Tianshu role. Suffice to say that
All of us here know...
Qianwei, Mingbo is reliable. In contrast, after much...
Thank you. Honestly, in my estimation, would either of you
I'll have to see.
I don't mind, as long as I can help.
Okay, well, that's all from me. Jur-E, you'll have some preparation to do. It won't be long before you're informed of...
I will live up to the Tian... I should go. I need to pack my things, and then I think a celebratory meal is in order.
Count me out. I'm not in the mood for a celebration.
Juri seems pretty relaxed now. This would be a good time to follow him.
Hey, Traveler, tell me something. What exactly does that guy have that I don't? If you can't answer that, I'm not accepting this result.
I, also wouldn't mind knowing.
Oh no, if we get stuck here, we won't be able to leave!
Follow him.
Yes, ma'am.
We finally got rid of them!
Lady Yelan, Juri has gone towards Feiyun Slope.
Follow him, quickly.
So Juri really sided with the Fatui? But Uncle Tian thinks so highly of him. Why would he do this?
Difficult to say, but everything should become a lot clearer when we find him.
Here!
I'm sorry, Lady Yelan. We lost him. He's too good at this. We weren't able to keep following him without being seen.
How the heck did he manage to shake Yelan's subordinates? I guess Juri...
No, Upe says he's much more relaxed.
What?
Don't blame yourselves. Let's not forget he was trained by Uncle Tian himself. Evading detection... If I'd asked you to tail...
Shinue Kiosk. He only went in a few moments later. I figured that if we spooked... So I stopped Upe, and I stayed here to wait for you while that meathead went to ask around in Shinue Kiosk.
Good work. The fish didn't take the bait, but that's okay. As long as he's still swimming around, we'll find a way to catch him eventually. Let's go to Shinue Kiosk.
Boring!
could you explain to me how that works? A guy like him
Our customers are
okay.
Well, maybe I did.
Enough. Let's tone this down a little. I'll make this quick.
Oh, he didn't buy anything.
A bottle of liquor?
Yes, a very strong kind. Fiery, with a rich flavor. Not something the average customer would order. This gentleman ordered it in person from...
Liquor?
Where to?
Shigu Antiques. name is Linlong. We're friends of his. He's been telling us how impressed he is with the quality, considering how affordable it was. So we just had to come and take a look for ourselves.
Sure. Which model are you looking for?
We don't really know a whole lot about wineware. Let's just go with Jur-E's choice.
Jur-E picked up his set not long ago. As a quality imitation of an antique wineware set, it has the look and feel of a luxury item. Just so you're aware, we don't have many of this model left in stock. And now that Mr. Jur-E has taken one, I'm afraid it may encourage the price to go up a little.
Don't worry, price.
For this set, the wine glasses are sold separately. Minimum purchase is 1 glass, maximum is 4. Mr. Jur-E bought 2.
Okay. Thanks, Linlong. Seems there's a little more to buying wineware than I first thought. We'll have to mull it over.
Well, don't take too long. We could sell out any day now. All right, see you next time.
This is turning into a real headache.
I'd just like to point out that we have the self-professed Grand Master of Fieldwork here to thank for being wholly incapable of—
It's not like you did any better.
My specialty is
Fair point.
Yelan, so has the plan failed? Oh, if we can't figure out where Jerry went, there's not much we can do. But why was he buying liquor at Shinue Kiosk anyway?
If so, it's no—
What do you mean?
First of all, if he was just looking to— No. This is a victory feast. Held in honor of whoever this person is clearly enjoys hard liquor and has a very high status. Now, where might we find Fatui who match that description?
Fatui officials. Should be either the Snezhnayan Embassy or the Northland Bank.
Have both locations surrounded. Take as many people as you need.
Lady Yelan, is it time for us to make our move? If so, you can count me in.
Get with the program, would you? This is a covert surveillance operation. Jur-E may be vigilant, but that doesn't mean the same is true for his drinking buddy. In which case...
Great idea! So we just need to find out who Jur-E bought that liquor for and follow them instead!
But Lady Yelan, if we—
I'm well aware, but don't you stick to your orders. And make sure we're covering all other bases too. Anywhere else Jur-E might be going. I want eyes on those locations.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't worry, Lady Yelan. Jur-E may be a slippery character, but we'll keep a close watch on the movements of all Fatui officials.
I'll be waiting for you at the tea house. If I'm guessing correctly, Fatui officials are likely to take action at night. You should go and get ready. Then meet me at Yenshang Tea House. Perfect timing. Wenyuan just sent word that the Fatui ambassador...
Qingshu Pool? That's the place Jerry mentioned in his manifesto!
It looks like that's where they've arranged to meet. Qingshu Pool is always crawling with monsters. Most people wouldn't dream of going there.
Oh no, we gotta go get them!
Let's go.
Demons do not stop for the raid. Move.
This is Qingshu Pool, full of ruins, crawling with monsters. Anyone with any sense steers well clear of this place. I've looked into the place before. There's a workers' entrance somewhere around here. Follow me. There's been some work done on this place. The workers left an emergency access route. If we can find it, this will be a much easier journey. Still,
Don't worry, we're all professionals here. By the way, Yelan, where are your 3 little helpers at?
They have other things to take care of first. We couldn't afford to wait for them.
Hold the line!
Game's up. Game's over. As I expected, but this shouldn't be too much trouble.
I see that? That's gotta be the Fatui ambassador here to meet Ji. Look, that must be the emergency access route.
This is the construction workers' emergency access route, but it's closed tight. Trying to break through would be risky. Let's see if we can find another way. Quietly now. Take it easy. Gotcha. Quietly now. Here comes the catch.
The water's gone down. Hey!
Busted. Take it easy. 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 The water's flowed into the groove, and now the statues have lit up. Okay, now we should be able to move the statues. We should be nearly at the bottom now. Let's wrap this up.
Allow me!
Take flight! Kamisato art! Sumetsu! Game's up! Time's over!
I can tell from the aroma that this is very fine liquor indeed. I'm impressed. Come on, bottoms up. After you, of course.
Oh, sorry, that went down the wrong...
You'll get...
I'll do...
You're more of a lightweight than I thought. Already... I thought you were made of sterner stuff. You certainly kept it together when you were poisoning your teacher's soup. Come on, another round. Less talking, more drinking.
Sure. You didn't leave me much of a choice, though, did you? Just the mention of poisoning sends shivers down my spine. I'm more timid than you realize. Every time I poisoned him, I had to hide away at home for a few days because I was so scared of getting caught.
Look, I know it has not been easy for you, my friend. We appreciate all your hard work. But, I have to say, you really are quite a genius at poisoning people. I mean, the poison we brought from Snezhnaya is as strong as this wine, but you found a way to turn it into an imperceptible, slow-acting poison, and came up with the idea of what was it you said? Oh, yeah. You said the soup's fishy flavor neutralizes the pungency of the poison, and this process even makes the soup tastier as a result.
It struck me one day when I was fishing. I'm lucky it did.
You have performed, aside from Qingshu.
Don't worry. Whatever tasks you have for me, I will perform them diligently.
Did you hear that? It was poison! That's why Uncle Tian hasn't been feeling well recently. It's all Jurye's doing. What a nasty guy! Seize him!
Hold on. Did you bring a camera? If not, you can use mine. This is quite a scene. We have to capture...
Excellent. We've, seen no progress on the but soon, everything will be taken care of, and I can report back on a successful mission. Thank you, Juri. I remember when I first saw you. I knew right away that you would make a good partner for us. Hey, do you still remember what I said to you?
How could I forget? You said a lowly commoner like me could never be... The only way is for you to shine bright in the Tianshu's darkest moments.
Yes, under normal... Just look at your two competitors. Qianwei had wealth. Mingboa had reputation. But you had nothing. And that's why I decided to help you. You know, there's an old saying in the Fatui. Give a starving dog a bone, and it'll guard your home for the rest of its life.
Yes. I cannot thank you enough for your generous support.
You know, the best thing about you is that you do as you're told without complaining. Hey, keep up the good work, and I can assure you, you'll never have to worry about Mora. Heck, when you're not in the company of the Fatui...
Uncle Gao said that Jur-E has low self-esteem. Seems he was right. He was worried that whatever advantage he might have now... Well, do you have any more film in the camera? Then get ready to use it. Tonight's grand finale should be coming up any minute now. How well this goes for us depends on how Jur-E plays his hand.
Ooh, is there any more alcohol? Go on. Fill me up. I'm in a good mood today, and I'm gonna drink my fill.
There's only a little left. Here, I'll fill your glass. If you like it, I can bring you some more next time.
Whoa, this is the good stuff. It is great. Huh? What the... Jur-E, you poisoned my wine? But when?
You seem surprised, Mr. Yusupov.
How could...
How could I not? I've sacrificed years of my life studying and... You really think I'd put myself through all that just to become your little puppet? Do you see the haystack in the corner? Underneath it is a pile of explosives. And next door in the dark room, I'm gonna stay here till I see you slip into unconsciousness. Then I'm gonna set this on fire. Once the flames burn through the hay, they'll ignite the explosive.
What do you hope to?
I took the liberty of leaving some evidence of your contact with the undercover agents at the Black Cliff Forge. It won't take long for people to join the dots. The Fatui planted undercover but things didn't quite go to plan. Faced with the overwhelming evidence, the embassy won't investigate this any further. In fact, they'll be only too happy to blame it all on a rogue operation by you. It explains why you acted alone. Well, exonerate. Of course, none of that will have any...
Jur-E.
A record?
How do you know about that?
Because when you contacted me, I also made contact with your associates. I have Theophan to thank for providing me with the poison I used on you today. He'll help me tie up all... He has been
That traitor! Jur-E, you...
Shh. Relax. It's over. After tonight, everyone gets what they want. And anyone else in the know is either my accomplice or about to be taken out of the picture. Sweet dreams, Mr. Yusupov.
I did a little surveying on the way here and found that you'd left yourself 3 escape routes in case things went south. I have them all surrounded. If you're thinking of trying anything, save yourself the effort. The game's up. We were here the whole time and have pictures of everything. They came out pretty nicely.
The game's up? Forgive me, I'm not quite sure what you're referring to, Miss Yelan. I happened to discover a Fatui operation here, so I approached them on the pretext of joining forces.
This is how you want to Fine. You do you. All we need to do to convict you is establish that the poison in his system is the same as in Uncle Tien's. Nothing else you wanted to add? Let's leave it there then. Time to go.
One wrong move and it all comes crashing down. You followed him here, didn't... Let's talk about this, Yelan.
Your point being?
When I take office, I don't deny that I used underhanded
You still don't get it, do you? Even... What do you think? Exactly. Jur-E. Clever people can always come up with a good There's nothing wrong with wanting to win other... He was like a teacher and a father to you, but you...
That's enough.
Of course. What makes this even crueler is that you managed to convince yourself there was no other way. Uncle Tien was always going to give you this opportunity, even if you'd done nothing at all. Out of everyone in the world, he is the one who trusts you the most. So much that he drank your fish soup without doubting you, not for 1 second.
That's enough! That's enough.
Life is like fishing. It cannot be rushed. Whatever you do, impatience will accomplish nothing. I was just like you once, desperate to prove myself. Only later did I realize things do not always turn out the way you plan. But you have to keep calm to carry on. You're still young. Be patient, believe in yourself, and don't look outside yourself to prove your value. Where's Jur-E these days? It's been a long time since he last paid me a visit.
Maybe he's just busy.
Well, next time, if he doesn't bring a pot of piping hot fish soup, don't let him in.
Whatever you were thinking about, you'll have plenty of time to mull it over in prison. Oh, I almost forgot. If the Fatui find out what happened today, prison might not turn out to be the safest place for you. Trying to have friends on both sides, it has a way of turning everyone against you. But right now, I have an opportunity for you.
Huh?
Sorry, things are about to get extremely busy for me. Let's meet at Genshin Tea House tomorrow morning. I'll have someone remove the explosives. Then, there's someone I have to go and see.
Need our help with that?
No, it could be dangerous. You should leave this one to the professionals. Don't worry. As long as they're willing to cooperate, this'll be a straightforward deal. Get some rest.
Demons do not stop for the raid. Move. The rain stopped. I don't concern myself with the weather.
There is now no poison left.
Dr. Baiju.
You needn't worry. It's good we caught it in time.
How did they succeed? Unfortunately for them, they were up against us.
Uncle Tian will be heading off now. Remember to get...
Don't worry, I will. Thank you very much. Ah, you're here too? Thank you for all... Yes, the exotic.
Luckily, it looks like choosing the Tianshu's successor is suddenly not such a pressing issue after all.
Hey, yelan!
My work is mostly wrapped up, so I thought the assessment process comes to an...
You have my gratitude. People can change their loyalties easily. I've always known this. But whenever it happens, it's still a dismal experience.
Is it just Paimon, or is Uncle Tian not that surprised?
Normally, the
Yes, to be quite honest, when I first met you, I concluded that you had... In the end, even I had no reputation to speak of when I first became Tianshu. I relied on Ganyu's assistance for all manner of things.
I have to admit, the intel suggests that the Fatui... He chose that He also installed us afterwards.
But that's still...
Yes. Had he drunk the poisonous...
How is Jury now?
Well, I mean, he's sitting in a jail cell. Like Yanfei says, everyone who breaks the law has to pay the price. Still, he's
A deal?
Yes, Jury's not the one I'm interested, but once the Fatui...
Well...
Almost.
Uncle Tian? Yelan? What are you talking about? Paimon...
Jury colluded with Yusupov in our hand. Also, we'd be able to... Pawns like this can be major assets. They open up all sorts of new options.
So, okay, well, did your plan succeed?
We got halfway, but when we tried to make contact...
The Fatui...
I found out from others the Fatui's main forces. It's a pity that Theo...
I have to ask, Yelan. I remember you showed some interest a few days ago at...
Oh, that. I prefer my current life, although it'd still be a... All right.
Where are you off to this time?
As you might have guessed. It's for me to know and you to find out. But I'm sure if you keep going as... Maybe I'll see you the next time danger beckons. Until then, keep your wits about you. If you have any more questions, just ask Uncle Tian. After the recent turn of events...
Disappear!